Welcome back. This is Mr. Barrios. We are covering Lesson 1.2 of Personal Finance Credit 1A, and this is called Overtime Pay. And this is definitely a normal work experience thing that you will go through as a student, as a young worker, right? When you work more hours than your normal 40-hour weekly cap. There are some examples in here where they say the cap is 36 hours or something like that. But typically you are to work 40 hours a week, and anything over than that, you should be getting paid more for that. So there are laws protecting you from getting taken advantage of by businesses by making you work too many hours, right? If they're going to make you work too many hours, they're going to have to start paying you too much than they really want to. Not sure if that's funny to you, but it's funny to me. Anyhow, so for time and a half, it's represented by 1.5 times, or you'll see in the problems below 1.5, as you see over here, 1.5 for time and a half. If you see double time, you are multiplying your hourly pay by 2. So time and a half, we multiply our hourly pay by 1.5 so that we calculate how much we make for those hours. And for double time, we multiply our hourly pay by 2 so that we know how much we get paid for those overtime hours. So let's jump into this concept check. And these are really straightforward. And because there's so many problems that I really want to go into detail, we're not going to use Desmos to make our calculations. I'm just going to do a calculator off screen to make some of these calculations. Makes it a lot faster. So number one, Josie makes $9 per hour. We definitely need that for Josie. We know that Josie worked 40 hours that week, and oops, let's get rid of that. And in addition to that, plus 9, this person also worked 6 hours at time and a half, and that time and a half is calculated by, multiplied by the 9 hours that they get paid every hour. So that's not the only way to write this. You could have, let's change color so I can indicate what everything is. So the 6 hours is OT. The 1.5 is, time and a half. So T plus the half sign, time and a half. And 9 is your hourly pay, so P for pay. And again, you see P over here, hourly pay over here, and H for hours worked in total. So now everything's kind of labeled so you kind of better understand, because occasionally I might forget to put it in the exact same order. I will try and keep it in this exact same order, but if you even made the mistake where you put the 9 at the front, you're like 9 times 1.5 times 6, or 9 times 6 times 1.5, or any other weird order of these three numbers. It won't matter as long as these three numbers are being multiplied together. Now let's make our calculations so we're not wasting too much time. 9 times 40, well, that's $360 that this person made. We are adding to that whatever 9 times 6 times 1.5 is. That's going to come out to 81. All right, grab a calculator, you do these calculations, that comes out to 81. And then what we do is we do 360 plus 81, and that comes out to $441 as we calculate it on our calculator. So that's number one. That's how much money that person made. Ed makes $11.50. Sorry, number two. Ed makes $11.50 an hour. This week, he worked 36 hours and 7 hours at time and a half. So we know that he makes $11.50 every hour for 36 hours. In addition to that, he worked overtime. We'll do some double parentheses in case we use Desmos or some other fine scientific graphing calculator. And let's see, it says he worked 7 hours, so overtime OT is 7. 7 of OT at time and a half. It says right here time and a half. So 1.5. And then P, how much does he get paid every hour? It says right here $11.50 an hour. So 11.5. And we are going to make these calculations off screen on my calculator. 11.50 times 36 is $414. We are adding to that whatever this calculation is. 7 times 1.5 times 11.50. We get $120.75. This will equal our final answer when we add it to $414. So plus 414. Ed made $534.75. Now for this problem, I erased number 4 below. Not that we're not going to do it, but just so that we have space, since I am trying to show you a lot of steps with such little space. Let's get into it. Corey earns $11.80 per hour. And he works 40 hours that week at the pet store. His overtime pay is 1.5 times. So yes, we're going to do 1180 times 40. In addition to that, whatever his overtime pay is. So his overtime pay is 1.5 times his regular hourly rate, so time and a half. Last week, Corey earned $613 in total pay. So not everything's accounted for yet. How many hours of overtime did he work? We don't know. We're going to leave that as OT. Actually, let's just call that T. So maybe you don't write OT and just leave it as T. Maybe I should have just erased it. And so his OT hours, we don't know. He did get time and a half for that time. So 1.5 at $11.80. That's what we see right here, 11.80. And in total last week, Corey earned $613.60. So we're going to do some off-screen calculations over here and find out what 11.80 times 40 is. Comes out to $472. The 11.80 times 1.5 comes out to 17.7. But we got to attach to that the t, because it was also being multiplied with all that. So 17.7 t equals the $613.60. We may now start balancing this equation by subtracting 472 first from both sides. It's 472. $613.60 minus 472. That equals $141.60. This has already canceled out. We're still left with 17.7. 17.7 t. We want to get t by itself, and there's no addition going around it over here. There's no addition or subtraction, so it is a division from t. Taking it away, we are making it insignificant or canceling that side. And we're doing it to the other side. We are dividing both sides by 17.7 to get our final answer of t equals $141.60 divided by 17.7. We get 8. T, or in this case, OT, overtime, is 8. This person worked 8 hours of overtime, and that's the question. How many hours of overtime did he work? So Corey worked that many hours. Let's you to review this work. Please pause the video because I'm about to make this all disappear. Now, number 4 is different. We're taking similar steps. However, we are doing double time pay. So instead of using 1.5 to calculate the overtime, or to solve for the overtime in this case, we're using a 2 instead of a 1.5. So let's read it and try and blast through this because we are running out of time on our 15-minute video limit. Western Deli pays its couriers straight time for 36 hours per week and double time for any hours more than 36 hours per week. Last week, Kevin Alvarez worked a total of 42 hours. We do need to know that because we have to subtract 36 away from it to see how many hours of OT this person works. So that's 6. 42 minus 36 is 6 overtime hours. And had a total pay of $545.28. What is his straight time pay? So same as before, we're doing his regular pay of what? They don't tell us. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for his regular pay. We'll use P for pay. And multiply that by the 36 hours he got paid at regular pay. To that we will add to that, and I did double parentheses again to indicate to our graphing calculator or our scientific calculator that we are trying to calculate two separate things to combine later on if you are indeed using this on a graphing calculator such as Desmos. And we are going to multiply that by OT. Well, OT is 6 overtime times time and a half, or double time. In this case, we are doing double time, so that's times 2 times P, and that will equal the total pay for the week, $545.28. So 36 times P is 36P. Should change colors there. I'll change it on the next one. 6 times 2 is 12, and we get 12P. That still equals the $545.28. We combine these two together. They're both like terms. They both end in P, and we get 48P. Not the best 48, but 48P equals $545.28. And we now have to get P by itself, his pay, hourly pay, his straight time pay. So we divide both sides by 48, right? We cancel this over here so that we may find our final answer over here. Off screen, I'm going to calculate that for us. So that's $545.28 divided by the 48 hours worked. And that tells us that, with a little bit of rounding, that this person makes $11.37 every hour. And that's that. Please pause the video if you need to look at this information again, or rewind and rewatch. But that's it.